Welcome to Day 7 of Web Design with Google Sites. Over the last 6 sessions, we explored user experience principles, mapped out layout grids, and built a fully functional multi-page website from scratch using Google Sites. Today is all about quality assurance and launching. We will learn how to test our designs, fix common bugs, and finally press the Publish button to go live with the website. Before a website goes live, a professional web developer never just assumes everything works perfectly until going through a quality assurance phase. QA is the safety net. We can break it down into 3 simple stages. Device testing and optimization. Use Google Sites' built-in preview tools to check both mobile and tablet views. Collaboration and permissions. Manage editor permissions if you're working with a team. Publishing controls. Go live to a specific audience or the public web. By the end of today's lesson, you will have a fully responsive published website. Let's take a look at the first major step: device testing and optimization. When building a website on a computer, it's easy to forget that nowadays most of the viewers would hold a smartphone or a tablet. Thus, it is very crucial to build a responsive website with text, images, and columns shift to fit any screen sizes. Google Sites makes this very easy to check before we go live by using Preview Mode icon, which looks like a small computer and phone icon combined at the upper right corner. When clicking it, a control bar will appear at the bottom right of your screen, allowing you to cycle through 3 distinct views. Desktop view, the default layout for building on the desktop monitors and laptops with the widest view of the grid system. Tablet view, the medium width layout. Look closely for any weird text wrapping, such as a heading splitting into 2 lines awkwardly, or buttons that suddenly stack on top of each other. The mobile view, the narrow width layout. Google Sites will automatically collapse side-by-side columns into a single vertical stack. Ensure that the navigation menu collapses cleanly into a hamburger, the 3 lines, menu icon, and that the images remain completely legible without forcing the user to zoom in. Let's move to the second major phase: collaboration and permissions. Whether building a site for a client, a class project, or a department at work, you need to understand how to securely manage access using a collaborator's Gmail account. Google Sites breaks the access permissions into 3 roles. The owner, the primary account with total administrative power. Only the owner can completely delete the entire site, transfer the ownership to someone else, or completely unpublish the site so it vanishes from the live web. The editor, the core collaborators with full privileges to add pages, delete sections, type content, and modify themes. Editors can also publish changes to the live site. The published viewer, the strictly restricted role with no permission to access the editing interface at all. They can only view the polished, live version of the site once it has been published. Please must remember the rule. Changes made by editors do not automatically show up on the live site. If an editor jumps into your project and updates a text block, those changes remain safely hidden in a draft state. The live public site will not change until someone hits that Publish button again to republish the site. Now, let's move to publishing controls to set the site live. When clicking the Publish button for the first time, Google Sites will prompt a configuration window with 3 key elements to confirm. First, web address. Enter a custom text string to end your URL. For example, if you type portfolio, the live address will be https://sites.google.com/view/portfolio. Make sure this is clean, lowercase, and easy to read. Second, the privacy settings. Manage the access under Who can view my site. For an internal company site or a private school project, you can restrict access so only specific people with a link or people within your organization can load it. Change the setting to public for the world to see. Then the search engine setting. When checking the Request Public Search Engines to not display my site, search engines like Google won't index your pages. People can't search your site and need the direct link to find it. Remember, once your site is officially live, any changes after that, you need to click the Publish again. It will show you a side-by-side comparison of your current draft versus your currently published live site, so you can review exactly what is changing before confirming. Let's move the focus to the best practices to ensure your Google sites look professional on every single device. You may see a large heading that looks perfect on your desktop monitor, but breaks awkwardly on mobile. The large text breaks into single-letter lines or splits a short word across 2 lines once displaying on a vertical phone screen. It looks unprofessional and difficult to read. The fix is simple. First, avoid mixing different font sizes in a single text box line. Keep your formatting uniform. Second, use Google Sites' built-in title or heading styles consistently. Don't manually enlarge the font size. Finally, keep your large headings concise to scale beautifully on mobile views. Another big challenge involves media. Images getting cropped. Banners or infographics that look great horizontally often cut off crucial details when viewed on a vertical mobile screen. To fix this, use a Google Sites built-in uncrop tool to reset an image back to its original dimensions. Additionally, when working with headers, utilizing the large banner or cover layout with the anchor tool to lock in exactly which part of the image stays centered and visible, no matter how the screen size shifts. Another common issue is the strange multi-column layouts. On desktop, an alternating grid looks beautiful and dynamic. You might design a section that has text 1 next to image 1, followed by the reverse layout underneath it, image 2 next to text 2. However, mobile screens stack content vertically from left to right, top to bottom. When a smartphone processes that alternating zigzag, it forces the elements into a confusing sequence: text 1, image 1, image 2, and finally text 2. 2 images stacked directly on top of each other, completely separated from the text they actually belong to. The fix here is to design with stacking in mind. Stick to a single, consistent layout direction for related rows. Use either always image text or always text image. This ensures that when the page collapses on a phone screen, the matching text and image always stay paired together logically consistently. The next best practice is white space. When adding the spacer elements into the layout to make the desktop layouts to look clean and breathable, but the text or buttons get pushed down. On mobile, those horizontal spacers don't disappear, but turn into a large, awkward vertical white spaces. Users will need to scroll through a large blank screen. It would give an impression that the website is broken or missing content. The fix is to click on the spacer element in your editor. Use the adjustment handles to minimize the spacer's height down to its smallest single-line setting. Let Google Sites' responsive padding do the work for you, rather than forcing gaps that break the experience on smaller screens. Now, let's look at owner restrictions and security. Sometimes you may need to collaborate with other people as editors to build or manage the content. By default, those editors have a lot of power. As the owner, you can keep total control and tighten security by adjusting the share settings. The first major security feature you should know about is the ability to restrict editors from publishing. In the sharing setting, uncheck the box to prevent editors to publish, change permissions, or add new people. This ensures that the owner is the final gatekeeper for all public updates. For a Google Workspace account, a paid business or a nonprofit account gets access to some extra advanced sharing permissions. One of the most useful advanced features is the option to disable downloading, printing, and copying for viewers. When you toggle this on, it adds a layer of protection. It prevents viewers from downloading, printing, or making a duplicate copy of your sensitive project drafts. Let's practice the sharing protocol. Step 1. Go to the upper right for a small icon that looks like a person with a plus sign next to them, the User Plus icon. Click it to open up your sharing menu. Step 2. In the pop-up box, enter the specific Google account or email address of the collaborator. Always double-check the spelling here to ensure you are sharing it with the right person. Step 3. To the right of their email, choose Editor Permission from the drop-down menu. Step 4. Below their name, include a short message explaining exactly what their responsibilities are. For example, you might write, "Hi John, here is the access to our Google Site project. Please focus on updating the images on page 3. This sets clear boundaries and expectations right away. Step 5. Once everything looks correct, click Send. After the quality assurance check, let's set your Google site go live using a free Google domain. Step 1. Go to the upper right next to the sharing settings to click the Publish button. Step 2. In the pop-up box, enter your desired name into the text box. Google automatically generates your official web address below it. It will look like https://sites.google.com/view/your site name. Keep it short, simple, and lowercase. Then, within Who Can View My Site, set to Anyone so your audience can access it. Finally, click the Publish button at the bottom of the window to set the site officially live. A quick note, if the site is still a work in progress and not ready for the public to find it, under Search Settings, check Request Public Search Engines to not display my site. This acts like a privacy shield while you are testing. If you own a custom domain, www.yoursite.com, click Use My Existing Domain to connect and set up your custom domain. Today, we officially take your website live. Thank you so much for your hard work, and I will see you next class.